So hello there girls and boys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you some of the newest stuff that just got released in the newest version of Harrsion Mixbus. This time around we're talking about Harrison Mixbus 10, which is totally new and it's redefining the whole concept behind Harrison Mixbus. Now it's been divided into 3 different tiers or levels, if you wanna call them like that. You got the regular Harrison Mixbus, and you got Harrison Mixbus Plus, then you got Harrison Mixbus Pro. And the difference between the 3 of them is the amount of stuff that you get access to. And one of the many exciting features that are now added by Harrison Mixbus is the new channel strip that comes right out of an SSL console. Believe it or not, now you can add the SSL sound as part of the entire Harrison Mixbus experience natively. That's pretty much badass, and in this video you're gonna see an excerpt from a live stream that I did a few days ago on which I am using Harrison Mixbus 10 to mix a song from start to finish live. So if you want to get the full experience out of this video, go straight after the video is over to that particular live stream that should be somewhere on the screen. With that being said, let's rock and roll. Okay, so welcome back girls and boys to Harrison Mixbus. This time around we're going to be rocking Harrison Mixbus 10. And if you're eagle-eyed, as I know you are, there is a little bit of more shine to it, right? Can you remove the overlay, please?
Yes.
You can see that everything looks a little bit more high-end, somehow, because the graphics were improved, I gotta say. Also, we got this. When you open a new session, it comes like this. Actually, not even like this. Why is that? Well, it's because this is how a mixing console actually looks like, okay? You usually get the faders over here, but also, when it comes to this area, is where the slots of the different components of your channel strip will be found, okay? And this is actually kind of making it feel like right back at home. Okay, so over here we're gonna begin the quick showcase of the features before we begin mixing, okay? So if you click here, you're gonna get the familiar input display. You're also gonna get over here the processing, which is where you actually insert your plugins, and also is where you can rearrange the whole cascade of sequences, the sequence of your plugins or inserts that you got here. Also, the gate now looks like this, and look at this sidechain.
Alakablam!
Exactly. And also we got a much well, it's basically the same. Beautiful, fantastic, super powerful, and you know that it's a fan favorite of this channel and everywhere in the world, and particularly the known universe. Harrison's compressor are simply fantastic. We got the EQ, but I don't know if you're able to see this. It's an SSL EQ! Exactly! It's not a surprise to any single one of us who have been following the development of Harrison Mixbus or happen to be a user of SSL stuff that now they are quite close together, because in reality they are now part of the same group. And it's not shocking at all that they added the SSL sound to the Harrison stuff. The thing is this, they are quite different from each other, and having access to the 9000J, if I recall correctly, as part of the sound of the Harrison environment, it's quite interesting, because the difference between the sound of both EQs, it's insane. And in this video you're gonna see some of those comparisons, because I'm gonna be mixing the sound of the snare using both the SSL and the Harrison EQ, and compare them to see which one sounds the best. If you are familiar with some of some of the other production or not mixing tutorials that we have shot on the channel, you know that I'm a huge SSL fanboy, and the object that I got over here is known as the UC1 by SSL, and this is basically a controller that allows you to control the instances of the SSL channel strips that you might have across your session in a really cool fashion. It's basically speaking, you don't need to look at the computer and you don't need a mouse. You can do everything over here. You know what's the best part of this? It doesn't work. On SSL, as it is right now, the whole thing has to be controlled over here. Can you show them the hardware again, please? Thank you. If you recall, this is the UF8, and this is basically a fader controller, but also has plenty of different options or different functions for these B pods. And I don't know if it's visible to you, it should, but over here I got the controls for the sense. And it's basically, can we go back to Mixbus right now?
Yes.
Thank you very much. If we click on the sense over here, you can see that what I got here on my sense is also represented here. So I can actually control and send the different outputs of those sense through the use of the UFA. Very good. But doesn't stop there. If we click on dynamics, now I can control the compressor and the dynamic section of each of the channels directly from the vPods. That's very good, and we're going to be working on it. We're going to be using this throughout today's mixing session. And before I continue explaining this to you, this is only working as of today's live stream on the Harrison controls. Okay, the EQ, the SSL control, the SSL EQ that is now part of the whole package is not possible as it is today to be controlled by the UFA. But Harrison, excellently. Now, going back to Harrison Mixbus, you can see that I left the sense open. Why is that? This is gonna be mind-blowing. Look at this. Now you can send your sense as pre or post fader. Yeah, welcome to 1999. No, all jokes aside, this has never been a feature of Mixbus before, and this is finally here. For as much as this sounds like, however, this is not a thing. Don't know why it never was part of it. Maybe because they were trying to stay true to form to the mixing concept. But you know, if they want to be competitive, they have to have all of the bells and whistles. As I mentioned before, Harrison Mixbus now comes in 3 different versions, and the amount of features that comes loaded with it as part of the package changes along the way. If you want to get more information regarding the different versions, please go straight to the Harrison Mixbus website. In this video, I am using the highest echelon they have to offer, which is Harrison Mixbus Pro. And in here, you have access not only to the new SSL channel strip, you also got access to pre and post fader mode, for as much as that sounds ridiculous to some of you. More on that later. Also, you got access to Atmos mixing, and it also comes with some of the best plugins that Harrison Mixbus has developed along the years. And believe me, they are really good. So let's get into it. Hey, by the way, if you happen to find this video useful, please let us know by clicking the like button underneath. Let's continue. Here's something important as well. If you buy the Pro version, which is the one that I got here, let me show you something. If you right-click and you add new plugin, you will go straight to Creator. Now you can see that I got Harrison consoles as well. Look at that. It comes with all of the XT plugins that they have developed, and those are very, 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 very good. Do I recommend the Pro version? Yes, I do. I think it's the superior product by orders of magnitude, because it comes with everything that I shown you already, but also comes with those plugins. So in a perfect world, you won't need to buy anything extra other than buying the Pro version of Harrison Mixbus. And if I may suggest, get the Sound Toys suite. That will give you everything you need to get great sounding mixes. Okay, now I'm going to be mixing the sound of the snare using both the SSL and the Harrison EQ. So let's compare them to see which one sounds the best. Here we go. The difference to my ears is quite clear. While the SSL sounds punchy and clear, the Harrison EQ sounds more dirty, but in the best way possible, of course, and with more character. And in this case, I'm going to stick to the sound of the Harrison, but please let me know what you think in the comment section. I think Harrison Mixbus 10, it's a great addition to any of you who are mixing music seriously. And to be frank, as I stated at the beginning of this live stream, by buying the Pro version, which is not necessarily cheap, I'm going to tell you that, I think it retails for $499. But if you happen to be an owner of a previous version of Harrison Mixbus, you get a very, very, very good discount. And I think even by buying that guy, it's the Pro version is actually giving you basically everything you need. The thing is that when it comes to the market options, you get also Luna. And Luna, the paid version, I think is $300 something, okay? It comes with basically this workflow, because it also comes with its own channel strips that you can control directly from the DAW, and they are mimicking the sound and workflow of an API console. So don't know which one is more competitive, being frank. Both of them have different sounds. Luna workflow is fantastic. So don't know if the price point of the top version of Mixbus is correctly is competitively priced. That's something that is up for debate, because in a world where you can get Luna for free or get the paid version, which has basically this, a different flavor of course, and it's just one flavor because it's the API, it's kind of a hard sell. So there you have it, girls and boys. I gotta tell you that I'm quite impressed with this release. As I mentioned during the video, I think that the pricing scheme is not necessarily the most well thought out part of this product. But all in all, if you happen to own a previous version of Harrison Mixbus, this is a no-brainer. So upgrade as soon as possible, you can. Also, I would say that the implementation of this SSL stuff is quite cool. But as you saw during the video, at this stage, it's not well integrated with the SSL controllers, so it's kind of a letdown, but I want to believe that it's due to the fact that the only thing being updated as today is the Harrison Mixbus environment. 360 or any firmware update for the platforms, the channel strip, controller and the Surface hasn't been released yet, so I assume that it's just a matter of time for those to be fully implemented. So as it is, I think it's still a great offering, and I recommend any single one of you Harrison Mixbus users to upgrade as soon as you can. If you want to support this channel, the best way to do it is by listening to music on Apple Music or Spotify, and also by following us on social media such as Instagram and X, because that's the best way for you to get in touch with us in a much more personal basis. Also, I gotta remind you that I am gonna keep mixing this very track throughout the next few weeks in Harrison Mixbus. So if you're interested in learning more about it, or if you wanna see some tricks and tips and techniques when it comes to mixing, well, you know where to find us. Just simply click on the subscribe button. Meet you there. Now, the only thing left to be said is, as usual, as every single time I meet you, I gotta remind you that you should never let anybody tell you what to dream about. And remember that I will see you when I see you.